Hey, Mr. Richards here. Let's take a look at our Chapter 8, Lesson 3 practice questions from Multiplying Polynomials. First set of questions, find each product. The way we're going to do this is just to take the first term and multiply it by everything in the next one. So, for example, we'll have our q, and we're multiplying it by the q and the 5. So q times q is q squared. Q times 5 is plus 5q. And then we'll take the second term here and also multiply it by everything in the next set. So the 6 will be multiplied by the q. So 6 times q is 6q. 6 times 5 is 30. And we'll finish our answer then by combining like terms. We have a q squared. 5q plus 6q is 11q. And then we have plus 30. So q squared plus 11q plus 30 is our solution for the first question. Continuing on to question 3. N minus 4 times n minus 6. Well, take our n, multiply it by our n, and then our negative 6. So n times n is n squared. N times a negative 6 is a minus 6n. And as we move on to the negative 4 here, negative 4 times n is a minus 4n. And negative 4 times a negative 6 is a positive 24. And so as we combine like terms here, we're left with n squared minus 10n plus 24. Question 5. We have 4b multiplied by b in the negative 4. So 4b times b is 4b squared. 4b times negative 4 is a minus 16b, and be careful with your 6's and your b's there. Then we have our 6 times b is plus 6b. 6 times negative 4 is a minus 24. And as we go to combine, we're left with 4b squared. Negative 16b plus 6b is a minus 10b, and then minus 24. Questions 7 and 9. All right, 7. 6a being multiplied by 7a is a 42a squared. 6a times the minus 4 is a negative 24a. Then our negative 3 times 7a is a minus 21a. Times the negative 4, negative times the negative is a positive 12. And so we have now 42a squared minus 45a plus 12. In 9, 3a times 2a and then the minus b. 3a times 2a is a 6a squared. 3a times the negative b is a minus 3ab. Then negative b being multiplied here. Negative b times 2a is a minus 2ab, and keep it alphabetical so it's easier to combine these like terms. Negative b times negative b is a plus b squared. So as we write this as a simplified answer, we're left with 6a squared. We have minus 3ab minus 2ab, that's minus 5ab plus b squared. Now, 11 and 12, these questions get a little bit more complicated, but we're going to follow the same steps. We're just going to multiply. And so we have m being multiplied by m squared, 4m, and now negative 8. M times m squared is m cubed. M times 4m is plus 4m squared. And m times this minus 8 is a minus 8m. Then we have our 5 being multiplied by all of these as well. So 5 times m squared is a positive 5m squared. 5 times 4m is a positive 20m. And notice how I'm lining things up here. 5 times negative 8 is a negative 40. As I go to combine like terms here, I'm going to just combine and add, right? We have m cubed plus 9m squared. Negative 8 plus 20m is a positive 12m. We're left with just negative 40. So m cubed plus 9m squared plus 12m minus 40. We can follow the same logic on 13. We have 2h being distributed amongst these. So 2h times 2h squared is 4h to the third power. 2h times 3h is a positive 6h squared. 2h times 4 is a positive 8h. Then we have our 3 being distributed to all three of these terms as well. 3 times 2h squared is, once again, 6h squared. 3 times 3h is 9h. And 3 times 4 is a positive 12. And so as I go to simplify, combine these like terms here, we're left with 4h to the third plus 12h squared plus 17h plus 12. $15 is very similar to those last two. We're taking these two terms, binomial, and multiplying it by a trinomial, 3 terms. 3q being stretched out and distributed. All right, 3q times 9q. 3 times 9 is 27. 27. Q times q squared is q to the third. 3 times the negative 12 is a negative 36, and q times q is q squared. 3q times 4 is just a positive 12q. Then our positive 2 being multiplied, distributed amongst these. This is 2 times 9 is 18, then q squared, so a positive 18q squared. 2 times a negative 12 is a negative 24q, and then 2 times a positive 4 is just 8. And as I look to combine these now, we're left with 27q to the third. See, negative 36 plus 18 is a negative 18q squared. 12 minus 24 is a minus 12q, and then we just have the plus 8. So 27q to the third, or q cubed, minus 18q squared, minus 12q plus 8. Now, 17 and 19, little more tricky. We're going to have to add a third color to this, right? Get the green involved here. But simply just take your time and piece your way through these kinds of questions. So we'll take our 3n squared. We're going to multiply this by everything on the other set of parentheses. So just, again, take your time. 3n squared times 2n. 3 times 2 is 6. N squared times n squared is n to the fourth. 2 plus 2 is 4. 3n squared times 1n. Let's see, 3 times 1 is 3, so positive 3. N squared times n to the first is n to the third. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3n squared plus 9. 3 times 9 is 27. And then n squared. All right, let's take on the next one. 2n being multiplied by 2n squared, n, and 9. All right, 2n times 2n squared. 2 times 2 is 4. N times n squared is n to the third. So we're going to line this up right here. So positive 4n to the third. 2n times n is a 2n squared. 2n times 9 is a positive 18n. And as we add in this third color to deal with this negative 1, negative 1 times 2n squared is a negative 2n squared. Negative 1 times n is a minus 1n. Negative 1 times 9 is a negative 9. And the more organized you can be, if you want to use colors on these, use colors on these. But notice how we have these fourths, thirds, seconds, singles, and then the constants all lined up so we can just combine like terms at the end. It can be very helpful if you can stay organized in your work here. We have 6n to the fourth plus 7n to the third. Let's see, these two actually end up canceling out, so we're just left with 27n squared plus 17n is 18 plus negative 1 is 17, and then just minus 9. So if you can stay organized as you multiply these things through, you're more likely to be successful. Just simply are. 19, 2x squared, all this stuff. All right, so being official math terms at this point, but we're going to take and multiply the 2x squared by all of these. 2x squared times 2x squared is 4x to the fourth. 2x squared times a negative 4x. Let's see, that's going to be negative 8x to the third. 2x squared times 3 is a positive 6x squared. Moving to this negative 2x now. Multiplying by all three again. Negative 2x times 2x squared is a negative 4x to the third. Negative 2x times negative 4x is a positive 8x squared. Negative 2x times 3 is a negative 6x. And moving on to this last piece here of the negative 3. Again, if drawing the arrows helps you, draw the arrows. If it doesn't, then don't. But sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Depends how organized you can be. Negative 3 times 2x squared is a negative 6x squared. Negative 3 times negative 4x is a positive 12x. And negative 3 times a positive 3 is a negative 9. And so now as we wrap this thing up here, we have 4x to the fourth minus 12x to the third. See, 6x squared, negative 6x squared cancels out, so we're left with just 8x squared. Negative 6x plus 12x is a positive 6x, and then our minus 9. 4x to the fourth minus 12x to the third plus 8x squared plus 6x minus 9. All right. And that is it for these multiplying polynomials. So we start off quite simple. You're just multiplying two terms by two terms. Just multiply the first term by everything there, second term by everything there. Gets a little more complicated as we have 2 by 3. But again, you can stay organized. And it gets even more complicated when we're doing 3 things by 3 things. And so just as long as you can stay organized in your work, even if that means using colors or highlighters or whatever you have to do just to make it work. But that's it. Good luck.